Hey guys, so hi, I'm definitely not like ready for all this, but I want to talk about some things about the protests because a lot of people are saying that the protests that are going on are absurd, and some people are saying that they're good, and figured I'd come on here and educate people on why we're even having them and what the point is for them because a lot of people have no clue why we're even having these protests. So I wanted to explain that to some people because the bitches in the back can't hear us when we talk, when we tell about them, when we tell them exactly what the videos are for. So I'm inviting everybody to come on. So if you are watching this video right now, you can come on and join us on the live feed. If you guys go look for the post on my page, you guys will see there's a link there. You guys can click it. You guys can join this feed. In fact, we have one person already on named Kathy. Kathy, if you're watching me as well as joining, make sure you turn on the volume on your things. Otherwise, it's going to be too crazy. Turn down the volume on your computer.
Oh, it's my phone.
All right, turn down the volume on it, so because we can hear you, but I can hear the feedback of myself.
Okay. Is that good?
Hello? Yeah, good.
Hi.
Hi. So I wanted to go ahead and bring up people on. I want everybody to know that they can come on and join this if they want. It's still kind of giving me a little bit of feedback. So, Kathy, I'm going to take you off the screen for just 1 second while we let a couple more people join. Go ahead and sit tight, okay? You're going to still be on with me. Okay, so I'm going to ask people to join with me. And I did put a link there. I texted some people a link. I know Lindsay, she can't join us because of her browser. So anybody who wants to join, though, again, click that link, and you guys will be able to join us. And yeah, so this is what we're going to do it. Because I want other people to join in the conversation and tell us what they think about it. So first, we're going to start off, of course, with my opinion of it and what I think these things are for and what I think we're doing here. So then I'll go ahead and bring Kathy on, and if anybody else again wants to join, they can give us their opinion. So first, I want to say I've seen so many different reasons to why we're protesting. I've seen a lot of people say we're protesting for this reason, for that reason. Some people are saying we're protesting because we don't want the masks. We don't want any control. Some people are saying that it's a hoax. Some people are saying that the coronavirus, it's just a means for the government to take control over all of our money, all of our freedom, or a reason to go under martial law. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to tell you what I think it is. The reason why I protested and the reason why I still stand by the protest is for one thing. I protested because I believe, which it is okay to do, that the coronavirus is real. I believe that the government is trying to take too much control. And I also believe that we should not be forced to do anything. Now, I do have all three sides of that, and it is okay to be on all three sides of that. Just because I believe that the coronavirus is real doesn't mean I believe that we should be going this crazy. I believe that we should use common sense. I believe that the people dying are people with compromised immune systems, people that are elderly. So I think that if you're around people that have compromised immune systems or people that are elderly, I think it's your responsibility at that point to be responsible and not to expose them to things. Now, when I went to the description of the protest, I also saw that the exact event said to not come if you have a compromised immune system, or if you're elderly, or if you are around or take care of somebody who's elderly or with compromised immune system. Meaning, the only people going to these protests are young, healthy people. And so you might think to yourself, well, they might rub elbows with people that aren't at the protest, that might be around elderly or people with compromised immune systems. But you're wrong, because after being out there all day long, I mean, first thing I did, I got home and I showered. And I know that the virus can only live on surfaces with the oxygen for only up to 3 hours. So as long as you go home and shower and you're conscientious about the fucking shit you're doing, I think we're going to be okay. So the fear of the protest needs to stop. But now let's go back to the reasoning of the protest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to bring Kathy on in a second to ask her opinion of it. But I think the protests are to show the government that we don't need to be threatened with fines and with jail time. I believe that when we are given the opportunity to be suggested that we should be doing these things, I find that we listened. Like, for instance, when they said, we suggest you guys wear face masks, they flew off the shelves. We did what they asked. They said, we suggest you practice social distancing. We did it. We did what they asked. We don't need them to put X's on the floor at Walmart. We don't need them to tell us we must do things. We don't need businesses telling us we will not serve you without a mask. We also sure as hell do not need people getting fines and jail time for this crazy, crazy virus. Now, this virus is real. I do believe we need to, again, use common sense and watch out for our elderly and compromised immune systems. Otherwise, our small businesses are failing. And in America, there's some people here that have made it by the grit of their teeth, but by all means, they're making it. And those people who are making it by the grit of their teeth or by a fingernail, whatever you want to say, those people's businesses are the ones that are failing. The people who came here to live the American dream, who started their own small business, who came from poverty, who's barely making it, but by all means, they're making it, now are not making it because of this coronavirus situation. And those are the Americans I feel like we're protesting for. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to go ahead and bring on Kathy and ask her opinion of that. So, hey, Kathy, what do you think the reason we're protesting, or what do you think that the reasons are of why all of America is so restless and wanting to get out there and protest?
I really believe that the stay-at-home, people think that you need to stay in your house and you can't, but go in the backyard, get out and do what you can. And yes, wear masks. I think people are overusing masks and gloves. If you wash your hands, and everything that you've said has been good and right, and that's why I want you. People are really stupid, and they go to work sick. So now you're spreading, whether it be COVID-19, the flu, or chickenpox. We have a vaccine for that, but
But even if we have vaccines, let's say we made a vaccine for the coronavirus. Even with the vaccine, we still have deaths that will happen because of the fact that we know that that's true with the flu, with chickenpox. Even though we have a vaccine for the flu, still more people this season have died from the flu than from coronavirus. So, I mean, I don't think the vaccine is going to do anything but ease our worry because of the fact that we're told no vaccine, no vaccine, no vaccine. But I believe that we need to be suggested by doctors on what to do. We don't need to be told by the government what to do, if that makes any sense.
It does. And honestly, I've not gotten the flu vaccine in years.
Me neither.
So I just, sorry, but I wash my hands. I stay away from sick people. Yes, I do have comorbidities. So I do need to watch, what I'm doing. And so I just think being told to stay home, I think some people do need to be told to stay home because they're not smart enough that when they're sick, they have to stay home.
I'm going to put a comment up here real fast. Rick just now said, and most people don't want to follow the rules. That's why they're arrested, and that's why they're threatened to arrest. Now, that's just what you said too, Kathy, that you believe some people should be told to stay home because they're not that smart. Now, my opinion of that is I think that we as a society, of course, need to mature up. We need to get more mature. But I do also believe that when it comes to our loved ones, we will listen, and we were complying. Now, there were some people who weren't complying. And I agree with you. Sometimes we need the government to tell them what to do. It's unfortunate, but it's real. And I think that, if anything, we shouldn't be taking away our civil liberties and freedom because they don't want to be smart. And I think that ultimately they have the freedom to choose to not listen as well. Because even though people have laws out there, doesn't mean they're always going to follow them. So these same stupid people aren't even following the law anyways. So why put another law out there? You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
There's always going to be stupid
there's
people.
Not much. Maybe the stupid people need to be killed off by the virus. I didn't say that.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing.
Sorry, but no.
Who will comply and who won't.
Right. So.
And I just think that it's the government needs to step out of what they don't need to be in, and that's why I protested. I protested because I believe that we need to have the government pave our roads, watch our borders, arrest criminals. Hold on, I'm going to take you off, Kathy, because it's echoing. So hold on one second. I believe that the government should be doing things like paving our roads, watching our borders, arresting criminals. And I don't know about you guys, but every time I'm out there driving on that road, I ride a motorcycle now. And when I'm driving the roads are not paved correctly. I see that we're letting criminals out of jail. I see that the borders are not protected. So if the government cannot do the job that they're supposed to do, why would we ever want them to be invading our homes, our families, our health, our money? Why would we ever let them be involved in that? That's not their job. This is a free country. Our country has always been about free market and freedom to choose, freedom to live. And I don't think the government should ever be involved in that. And I think that when the government gets themselves involved in our personal business, like our homes, our kids, and our fucking money, it always ends up messy. So I don't think that the government should be the one suggesting or telling us that we have to wear masks. I think that we need doctors out there telling the truth. We need doctors out there to suggest things strongly and say, if you care about your loved ones, you will do this. But ultimately, we are American. And unfortunately, I believe that we would do it because I have common sense, but not everybody does. So unfortunately, that means that some people will choose not to do it. But I'll tell you one thing, that won't be my loved one dying because I chose to do it. So like Kathy said a minute ago, like maybe it will kill off all the dumb people. That's a horrible thing to say, but she's not wrong. I mean, genes are passed. Smarts are passed through genes. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, she's onto something there, but that's my personal opinion. I think that we do have stupid people in this country, but because we have stupid people, I don't believe that we all should be controlled by the government. I think that's horrible. I think it's wrong because I think there's a lot of us out there who are never around somebody with a compromised immune system or elderly people at all, especially those people out there that are starting their own small businesses who are so busy with that, and they're entrepreneurs. They're the future of this country. Again, the people who made it by the skin of their teeth, but they made it. And now those are the people suffering. And that's why I think we're marching for specifically those small businesses who are suffering, and the small young people who don't rub elbows with those type of people. Those are the people I believe that we should all be protesting for. So that's my opinion. And again, if anybody else wants to join the video, you guys can. Kathy so far has been on. But if you guys want to join the video and tell me a little bit about what you guys think, that's awesome. If not, you guys can keep commenting. I'll go ahead and read some of them. Rick is going off on the comment section. Let's see what he's going off about. Yes, but even if you do listen, you go out there to protest, yet others watch this and think it's okay. Rick, that's actually a good point. Okay, watch. Rick said yes, but others watch and think it's okay to go out in public, not following the rules. You are right, and that's the purpose of this video right now, Rick. Rick, that's the purpose of this video, and that's why I wanted to do it, because apparently the same group of people who said that fake news is real, they'll listen to CNN, but they won't go and listen to or read the description of the actual protest itself. And when you don't read the description of the protest itself and you just assume you know what you're talking about because you saw people out there not wearing masks, all hugging and stuff, and then you saw CNN say, oh, they're out there protesting, it makes us look bad. But if you go to any description on any of the events, you will see it is strict and says, but again, we're American, you could choose. It says, if you have a compromised immune system or you are elderly, do not come to these events. You are advised to not show up. If you just had a baby, do not show up at these events. If you take care of somebody at home, do not show up at these events. Now, we are very clear about that in those descriptions. I think that maybe we should be more clear about that in the videos, but we can't choose what CNN decides to capture of us. But I can tell you that that is something that I do not want happening. I do not want people to think it's okay to just go out in public and not follow any rules. In fact, let's not call them rules. Let's call them suggestions. Because rules is a way to kind of control it, and let's not misconstrue the situation here. I believe that we should be watching out for our own health in order to watch out for the health of the elderly or compromised immune systems people in the country. If you care about the ones you love, then you follow the rules. Don't cough on them. Wash your hands. Don't sneeze on them. I mean, normal things, So I thought this was normality, but apparently not. So I don't want you guys to think our protest means that we don't think it's real. I don't want you guys to think our protest means that we think it's a hoax. And definitely don't want you guys to think that this protest means that we don't take it seriously, because I was at the protest, and as you guys can see, my pictures, there's a lot of people there not wearing masks, and I still had one on. And the reason for that was the fact that I have loved ones in my circle that do sometimes have a compromised immune system based on medications they take. So that being said, when you have people around you that might actually have things like diabetes, HIV, or anything that's going to psoriasis, then you got to make sure that you are being careful for them. Now, I went out to the protest because I'm an American and I believe the government should not be threatening us with fines and jail time. So I went to protest with my brothers and sisters. But what I did do, I still wore a mask because I am aware I'm around somebody who sometimes has a compromised immune system. Again, guys, this is common sense. This is not hard. You guys should always use it. And like Rick said, don't think that this is meaning it's okay to just go out and not give a fuck at all. This isn't about the coronavirus as much as it's about the government control. Let me repeat that. This is not about the coronavirus as much as this is about government control. These protests aren't exactly about the virus. The virus is the excuse for the government to take control over us, and we should not let that happen, period. And I won't stand for it. And a lot of you guys are standing for it. I'm even seeing some patriots be like, oh, well, that's stupid that they're going out. They should I hope they all catch the coronavirus. I hope they all die. Horrible things they're saying to us. And even people on the right that are saying this. And it blows my fucking mind. Because, again, read the description of the events before you go or before you see it. Like if you see the event on the news, go read the description of the event when it was advertised, because you will see we are strict about that. We encourage everybody to not come if they will be one of those people that are considered high risk. So use your brains and know that we're not here to hurt people. We're not here to think it's a hoax. We're not here to be out there and like spreading it more. We're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. And that's not even about it. And first of all, tell me, we've been having protests all across the country for 2 weeks now. Tell me one protest where a lot of those people got sick from coronavirus. Oh, wait. Oh, it didn't? No, nobody? Oh, that's weird. That's strange. Nobody at these protests are even getting sick. Why? Oh, yeah, duh. Because the protests are only inviting people who are young and healthy and not around people with compromised immune systems or elderly. Duh. Again, takes me back to the beginning. Just read the description of the events before you judge the events because you saw it on the news. And Rick is right. My friend Rick said people might see that on the news and they might be so stupid. They might think it means just go out anyways and don't care about the stay in order. That's not the case at all. I'm against the fact that we have a stay in order. I'm not against staying at home in order to protect our loved ones. I'm not against wearing a mask to protect your loved ones if you're around them. I'm against us staying 6 feet away from one another at the same time wearing masks and like acting like we can't even look at each other. I'm against that. That's a little much, you guys. I went to Long Beach yesterday and I was by the beach and I saw there was people that were literally, hi, Lindsay. Lindsay's here, so we're going to bring her on in just a second, but let me just explain this one thing. So when I was in Long Beach, I saw there was people, nobody would stand like at least like I would say like maybe like 50 feet close to each other. Everybody was so far apart. Like each and every person was extremely far apart from each other. And on top of that, can you guys hear me? And on top of that, so not only was everybody standing 50 feet apart from each other, they were all scared of each other. They were also all wearing masks, which the masks are supposed to protect you from coughing and it going 6 feet in front of you. Because the average person that coughs, it goes about 6 feet. That's why they say 6 feet. But if you're standing 50 feet away from each other and every single person on the beach is far apart and they're wearing masks, come on now. Why are you wearing a mask if you're all 50 feet apart? Like, there's no point in it. There's no point in it. Like, none. There's no point in wearing a mask if you're going to stand that far apart. Now, if you're going to come within that 6 feet range, then wear a mask. Otherwise, it's just paranoia. And you got to admit, they kind of strung us along here, and it's crap. But, hey, Lindsay.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Good. Sorry if the video slows down or anything like that. But sorry, guys, if you guys are watching. But I wanted to go ahead and bring on a couple people. And, Lindsay, you're somebody who's been warning me since the beginning about everything. And so Lindsay's extremely knowledgeable in the situation. So I'll go ahead and let, first of all, do you have any new news?
I don't even know where to start. I don't have anything new. The only thing new that I have that I've seen, and I don't think it's that new, is that Gavin Newsom's talking about, the final thing for all of us, for us to like go back to work is going to be, we're going to have to take that vaccine or whatever. That's what I've heard is, and Mario actually sent me a message saying that it's posted on one of the websites, the California websites, that's going to be the ultimate thing, is going to be the vaccination, which I'm not going to take. I refuse. I want to do it.
No, I'm not in no way, shape, or form anti-vaxxer, or nor do I. I'm not against them, but it's not that I support them. I'm not for people who are. I'm not against vaccinations. I enjoy not dying. So I mean, I figure that people that want to get them, though, we should have a choice, because this is America. We should always have the freedom to choose if you want to get them or not. So I don't think that this is okay. Like, I won't take it just because simply you're telling me I have to be honest. Fuck that. Like,
right.
We're Americans, you guys. Wake up.
What happened to my body, my choice?
All of a sudden, out the window.
Right. Well, right. Because we, it's like one thing for, one circumstance and completely different for another. And I'm sorry, I refuse at this point. With all the shit that's going on, I'm not going to put a vaccine in my body or my children's body at this point. And where do we start? I mean, government control, my God, look at our state. I mean, our state is in complete and total, it's a shit show.
They don't know what they're doing. So what makes us think they're going to take care of this correctly? Like,
they're not. They're and everything's lies. I mean, I'm going to tell you. I mean, I've made it a point to go out and drive around and see what's going on the streets, because they're saying one thing on TV. They're saying they're putting homeless people in hotels, but I'm seeing the homeless encampments grow here.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like in LA, but I'm sure it's the same. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. They get up on TV. And today, our mayor of San Francisco got up and basically her whole spiel was about racism and how, yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's almost
You're
like
making it so political.
right. I mean, it's all of a sudden now the coronavirus is racist because it's attacking more people, the communities,
The
right?
virus is racist?
Huh? Yeah, because it's attacking the lower income communities, which right. And I'm just like, and then yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
It
it's
makes zero
the
sense.
whole thing. It's all about xenophobe. I mean, um, I don't even know anymore. Like it just, I'm so happy to see what I saw in Sacramento, and I'm seeing all over the state.
Me
It's
too.
about time.
One
I'm
thing I will say though to everybody who thinks that the also the myth of the hospitals, people are saying the hospitals are overpacked. They need help. They need more beds. No, here's what's happening. They are practicing social distancing in the hospital. So instead of there being 2 patients in one room, they're making 1 per room and then an empty room and another patient and then another empty room. And I've seen it because my roommate got in a car accident and went to the hospital. Well, I personally didn't say I couldn't go in there. They wouldn't let nobody in, but he was there. And then another person who was in there for similar kind of things was on the 6th floor and he was on the 4th floor. They have them so spread out that they said that at the hospital they are only at 1/3 their normal capacity. 1/3. So their hospitals, of course, look full because you're spreading everybody out.
right. But if you go there and drive past every hospital and I've been there because my mom, and one thing I need to say before I forget, I'm with you on the whole immune compromise thing. I mean, and I know there's a lot of people that believe this virus is bullshit. For me, I don't take any chances because my mom is immune compromised and there's no way. My mom's almost died. There's no from breathing, from respiratory issues. There's no way. And so for
When it comes
me,
to life and death, that's not the time I'm going to choose to be like, oh, fuck, the
No.
government, they're probably lying. No,
Right.
I'm going to go with what's safest because I love my loved ones,
right. I mean, exactly. And so I've been, taking care of my mom, making sure she's not allowed out of the house at all. And when I go out, I wear masks, but these are things, and people are like, oh, Lindsay, you're complying. These are things that I did before. These are things that people don't really know about me because I don't, go and tell
Well, not
them.
even just that. Before it became orders, before the orders happened, and that's when I first started talking to you, like a month and a half ago, when you told me that they were going to be shutting down counties. Then you said they're going to be shutting down the state, and both times I was like, "Whoa, that seems like a little much." But then they started doing it, and you were completely right about that. But before they did all that, they suggested that we wear face masks, and what happened? They got bought up all off shelves, and they suggested that we stay inside. So we started doing it. They suggested we buy I guess they didn't suggest toilet paper, but we all bought that anyways. But then, they suggested we don't sneeze on people. They suggested we wash our hands. All these suggestions were working. People were out there doing these things. So for them to come back afterwards and now say, now it's an order and now you get jail time and stuff, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's why I'd say you need to step back. Because first of all, the government, it's not their job. It's get a doctor on the screen. I don't care what Gavin Newsom has to say. I want to hear what a doctor says about what's going on with this virus. I care about the president, what he says. He was working with these doctors, not about the governor who wants our money. No, their job is to stay out of our homes, stay out of our wallets, stay out of our kids, stay out of our schools. You need to be more involved in fixing the roads, protecting our borders, arresting criminals. And when they can't do those 3 things at all, what makes any of us think that we can trust them with our lives?
We can't.
Our lives.
We can't. And you know what? I bet they're all melting now because I saw right before I got your text, I saw there was a post made, an article that Trump, I guess, basically has suspended all immigration right now. Yeah, closed our and I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna. I mean, turn on.
I hope he uses this opportunity to fix the system a little bit because we do have a broken immigration system. Immigration is not bad; it's illegal immigration that's bad. So I hope that he really fixed the system during this shutdown. But I will also say Trump has our back because a reporter asked him. They said, "How do you feel about all the people protesting and stuff and defying the orders?" He said, "They're getting restless." He said, the American people are getting restless. And you know what? He has our backs. That felt so good to watch the president say, I can just tell him to stay in, but if they don't, they're American people, and I love that he's staying true to our freedom. Freedom.
And that's something that I've been trying to stress to people because so many people have been like, "What is Trump doing? He's turning into the socialist and whatever." He said something last week that I really it touched me because he basically, he's been saying, well, he's kind of throwing it around. I mean, he could write an executive order and he could shut the whole freaking country down, right? By his hand. But he hasn't done that. He's left it up to the states. Why? when asked why, it's because he believes in the Constitution.
Amen.
He believes
Amen.
that it is the responsibility of the governors and the people in the states to take care of themselves.
And that's what this is about. This isn't about the coronavirus as much as it's about what they're doing with it. It's
Yep.
about our control that they're putting over us. I believe that doctors should be suggesting it hardcore. The doctors should tell you, you should wear a face mask. You have to wear one. You need to wear one. But nobody should be threatened with jail.
No.
With the government coming in, taking this much control, monitoring you leaving your homes, monitoring who you're talking to, monitoring what you're wearing, but they can't seem to do their job that they've always had, which is like literally fix the roads, protect the border, and arrest criminals. That makes you got to wonder, like, what makes us think that they're in it for our best interests ever?
They're releasing criminals from prison. I want to know, and I still want to know.
Or the man who got out, he's a murderer, and he killed the guy who ratted on him. He was out 2 days and killed him.
Thank you. So, but that being said, how is that helping the spread of the coronavirus? Like, seriously, like letting these people out of prison, that is putting my life in jeopardy.
I've been to jail, and that person or whatever. I was young. We all were young and dumb and drunk when we were like 21. So anyways, I went to jail, and I'll tell you, in jail, it's very controlled. Even the air is controlled, and the cells are all controlled. That social distancing already, first of all. Second of all, why are they letting people out of jail where in jail you have your own cells and it's the most sanitary place? Well, it's not the most sanitary. People make it unsanitary, but they keep the temperatures very cold there on purpose because it's hard for viruses to survive. They do a lot of things to make sure that diseases do not spread throughout jails because that's where a lot of them are from the homeless people. But jails are very controlled, so that's where they're gonna let them out of jail. Like, it just seems to me like they just want to let criminals out, to be honest.
They do. I mean, it's basically, it's like on TV, you know, you have Gavin Newsom and everyone's praising him, and he's even praising Trump right now, which is like some people.
I appreciate that, but it's still Gavin Newsom.
Whoa, well, yeah, and you're just, I mean, I do, I appreciate it too, I do, and I'm not gonna.
Who we're dealing with here.
But you also got to I mean, he's, you know, Gavin Newsom, there's a method to his madness. He's not doing this because he likes Trump. Because you wait, November comes, the next few months, he ain't going to be praising Trump. It's going to be all negative because he's going to want Biden to win the election. So right now, it's just all smoke and mirrors. And so it's like, look at me, look at what we're doing, look at what, you know, your politicians are doing here in California to help you.
I don't care about the politicians. I want to know what the doctors are saying, what the people out here are doing. I don't care about politicians.
Thank you.
It shouldn't be about politics at all. It should be about our safety and our loved ones. And we should be getting talked to by doctors, not by our politicians. And our doctors should not be telling our politicians what to implement as of control. Our doctors should just be simply suggesting what we need to do to better our families and make sure our families are protected. That's all it should be about. And when it comes to coronavirus, at least that's all it should be about. But the government control is where I draw the line. And we go out and march and we protest. And we, again, like I said earlier in the video, we also suggest do not come here if you are taking care of somebody elderly or somebody with a compromised immune system. We also suggest that if you are around those kind of people, make sure you wear masks. But at the protest, it's all young, healthy people who honestly aren't around those type of people because we told them to only come if you are not around those type of people. And so we don't really have that risk. And it felt so nice to go to the one in HB. When I hugged my first Patriot, I was like, whoa, I forgot like how crazy it was to hug how like, much it felt good to hug somebody. It was really weird.
I know.
I actually did it, but it was like I haven't had a conversation in weeks with somebody close to them.
I know, I miss it, and like, you know, I mean, and I'm to the point where it's like I'm over it. Like this is beyond. This is, you know, in the beginning, I can understand the mitigation and all this stuff that they wanted to do with social distancing, and I'm even still. I'll wear the mask if you know whatever. But that being said, you know, it's time to get back to work. Our economy.
I'm wearing a mask. I'm not gonna be afraid to walk. I'm not gonna be afraid to walk past you. If if we're both wearing masks, I'm not gonna be afraid to walk past somebody. But I mean, the fact that they're 50 feet away from each other, like on the beach, plus still wearing masks, is a little bit too much for me. I feel like that's a little bit too much control, a little bit too much paranoia. And I think we should use common sense, like you said. If you go around your loved ones, wear a damn mask. But if you're not going around people like that, then I mean, you really shouldn't be just reckless. But you should use common sense and not have to feel like you're in fear.
No, and screw the government. Like, you know, this whole thing, I saw a thing where they're going to start fining people. Like they said that as of August 27th, or not August, I'm sorry, April 27th, that, you know, that's when the law enforcement's going to start enforcing. If you're not wearing a mask, kiss my ass. The first thing out of my mouth was like, well, then I'm not wearing them. Like, you know, it's like
I went into the gas station to pay for gas on my motorcycle and I had my helmet on and stuff. But even with my helmet on, I walked in there and the guy said, I'll go ahead and take your card right now. He said, but next time you got to wear a mask if you want to be served. And I was like,
Wow.
gas money. And he said, yeah, and they're making it strict like that on all businesses. Now, that's again where I draw the line. I think that if you're going inside someone's private business, the owner can have a sign on the door or something that says you have to wear a mask, but that's their private business. If it's a freaking government-owned business, or if it's like a public service, then you got to be prepared for the fact that you're dealing with free Americans here. So you're going to be dealing with people that want to do it, some people that don't want to do it, some people that will, and some people won't. And you got to be prepared for that. You can't just automatically have that much control over Americans saying they have to do something or else they can't be served.
And you and I think that way, and you and I, to us, that makes complete sense. But if you think in the way of somebody who wants to take total control, this is kind of a way to ease us into it. It's like, okay, well, wear this mask or you're going to get fined. Well, what happens when the vaccines come? You can't go. What if, I mean, seriously, I mean, we're talking about them making us take a vaccine in order to, go to a grocery store. Is that going to be the final, you know what I mean?
What does the vaccine do though? With the flu vaccine, we have it. And more people died this season alone from the flu than of coronavirus. People die every single year from the flu.
I know.
We take our vaccines. What the fuck does the vaccine mean? Is it going to stop it completely? No, clearly not.
It doesn't.
So what the vaccine is going to make our worry go away. And if the government releases control because we have a vaccine, that just shows right there that they were just simply holding on for just for control. It had nothing to do with the virus.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem. Is that I think one of the issues here is I love what Trump is doing. I mean he's following everything the way he should.
He's working with doctors.
But he's giving too much power to the governors like that.
Let me remind you one little thing, which I know irritates me too, that he's kind of doing that, but that's what I love about him, and that's what I did love about him in the beginning. He put the power back where it belongs, and that's with the Congress. Congress is where the power should belong, and not with Obama, not with whoever's president. The presidents have had too much power for too long, and he's given the power back to the people. So I understand that, that he was doing that. Unfortunately, we do have some idiots that are part of those groups, like Nancy Pelosi and stuff. So it's unfortunate, but he's giving the power back to the states where it should have been the whole time.
Yep.
It's just unfortunate that the people running some of the states right now are idiots because we spend so much time letting the president run our lives.
Well, they're taking advantage. They're taking advantage by sneaking through gun legislation in other states. They're, they're doing all these different things behind the scenes.
Whoa. Kathy Trout, I'm putting it up on the screen. Kathy Trout just said, doctors are saying sun and heat is killing the virus.
Yep.
We need to get out of the house. Wearing gloves doesn't protect you if you touch everything around your house and take them off incorrectly, especially if you don't wash your hands. I don't want the corona vaccine. Now, Kathy Trout, can you tell me where you've heard that the heat and the sun is killing the virus? Because if that's true, then these protests, they've been outside. So, I mean, that's even better. So, I mean, what really can we spread? I suggested people go home and shower after the protest because it only lives 3 hours in oxygen. But if heat and sunlight is killing it, then we really have nothing to worry about. Then people really need to stop tripping on everything. But can you let me know in the comment section where you've heard that?
I know that I heard that too, but I heard it through word of mouth, and it was something that came out yesterday about the sun. But I mean, these are common sense things, it's like washing your hands and stuff like that. It's just, it's just funny, but not funny to me how unprepared people are in this.
I think we could find a happy medium here. I think that we could still protect our loved ones and obviously follow some protocols that the doctors are suggesting. But the things that the government is implementing as opposed to suggesting, I think is where they're crossing the constitutional line. They're literally crossing our rights in our constitution, and they're pretending like it doesn't exist. And what they're doing is they're using our fear of losing people in order to do so. But in the comment section below, I want to know, have any of you guys known somebody that died from the coronavirus? Because this is something I've been seeing going around Facebook a lot. People are saying, like my status, if you know somebody who died of corona, or like my status, if you know somebody actually affected by corona. And it's really rare that I've seen anybody actually like the status. And so I want to know in the comment section below right now, if you guys know anybody who's personally been killed by the coronavirus that was not elderly or having a compromised immune system. Hell, if they are elderly or having a compromised immune system, who knows somebody that died of coronavirus? I mean, I don't.
You know what I was thinking, Christopher? Do you remember back in December, I want to say it was December, January, when I came down, or maybe it was November the first time I came down, or October. Remember, right around that time, California, down in Southern California, and it moved up to Northern, there was a really bad, you were sick. You remember? Yeah. You got really sick, and there was a bunch of patriots that got sick. It was like everybody, there was a big, huge, events going on.
When I got sick, it was January, it was right after the Women's March.
Okay. So I'm
really
wondering, just because of the fact that California hasn't had such an outbreak like New York. I mean, New York, it's nuts. What's going on in New York?
We had a lot of people just because we are a bigger state.
We do. We have a huge state, a
Right.
huge people, but it's just crazy. It's like I don't know. So I
Well, let me
just
tell you my experience. So we went to the Women's March, and it was I ran into Brandon from That's the Point, and our whole group. And Brandon, he was there in the morning at the Women's March, and then we went to the March for Life, which was at the same time right next door. And Brandon shows up at the March for Life sick as a dog, and we were like, "What happened?" He said, "I was fine this morning," and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" And literally by the end of the March for Life, I was talking to people and stuff. By the time we were leaving there, I all of a sudden felt the same symptoms, and it was like the flu, except for I couldn't breathe. I never had the flu where I couldn't breathe, and I literally could not breathe. And I was home for like 2 weeks. When I'm normally only sick like a day, I was home for 2 weeks, just like, and that's when you sent me food.
yes, I remember.
Yeah.
That's why I remember all this, and I remember a bunch of you guys in Southern California.
Yeah, it was bad. Oh, it was so bad. I've never been that sick in my life.
And you guys, I mean, there were a few of you that are like super healthy, and
Yeah.
it knocked you guys on your ass.
I never get sick ever, and it was so bad, and honestly, it got kind of scary. I almost went to the emergency room because I couldn't breathe at all.
I
And
remember
never felt like that. I never felt a flu like that. But then after that, now they're trying. I've been hearing rumors that it might have already been here, and I believe that if it's this contagious, when I was at the March for Life, I came home sick by like right away. Brandon got there for the Women's March, and by the end of the Women's March, in the beginning of the March for Life, he was already sick. So I'm thinking, if it's this contagious and it sets on this fast, what if we already had it? What if we already have the antibodies? Because I go out everywhere, and my roommate has a compromised immune system. He was just in the hospital, and we're fine in our house. And he was also sick during that time. And now he's already had been in the hospital with injuries and stuff, and he's fine. We both are just fucking fine.
I've been thinking that since the beginning. I'm gonna tell you, since the day that I heard of this, like I was just like wondering, because I remember how sick there were a ton of you guys that got like so, and I was so worried. I remember going out and buying all this shit at the store because I was like, it's on its way up here, because I knew people in LA, and then I knew people down in Modesto and Fresno. So it was like it was moving its way up the state. And I was like, oh shit, I don't want that. But
it was super contagious because I mean, I just talked to Brandon and I got sick like that. And we all were like sick as a dog, like really bad. And the symptoms were identical to what they're saying the symptoms are for coronavirus.
I know. And that's why I just wonder. I'm like super curious about that, because in the area that both of us live in highly congested areas, right? Highly populated. You live down in LA, I'm in San Francisco area. And you would just think in our areas, there'd be a lot bigger outbreak. Kind of like what New York is experiencing, right? Like I was prepared for it. I was like, oh shit, here we go. But we've done really well, like in California. And I really believe that there's something to it. Like something to that. I don't know what's going on.
I think there's definitely something that we don't know about. That's a tie between the coronavirus and the control of the coronavirus and the control of the people that the government's trying to have over us. I think there's some kind of connection there for sure. I don't know if there's rumors. Some people are saying it's a man-made disease, or a man-made virus. Some people are saying all these different things. Now, those are all speculations, but all I do know is that all the speculations could be true. They could be false. And all I know right now, though, is that I'm American. And I don't think you should fucking ever tell me what to do, ever. I believe that we should be able to choose whatever the fuck we want to do, how we want to raise our kids, how we want to fucking spend our money, and how we want to make our money. It's none of your goddamn business as a government. And that's where I draw the line. Like, we can get into like the conspiracy theories, or even the ones that aren't conspiracies that just look like conspiracy theories. We can get into that all day. But my whole point of the protest, my whole point of why I went, is because I use common sense. I wear a mask because I live with somebody who has compromised immune system. But I also do not believe our freedom should be taken at all. I stand by our Constitution. I'm not Republican as much as I'm a freedom fighter. I'm a constant motherfucking Constitution. And if it says it's in the Constitution, if it's in the Constitution, it's in the Constitution. We should not be tiptoeing around it or finding excuses to go above and beyond it. And right now, that's what they're doing. And unfortunately, when you have a free country, there's going to be some people, again, like Rick said earlier, there's going to be some people that are stupid, that don't comply, that don't do what they need to do. And that's unfortunate. But we live in a country that is free. So it means if you want stupid people to be able, if you want smart people to be able to do whatever they want, you have to let stupid people too, unfortunately. But that's the way the world works. And we live in a free country. So I'm down to fight for those stupid people as much as I am for the smart people doing their job.
I'll fight I've always said, like, as much as I don't agree with Antifa, I'll fight for their right to go out there and protest, do what they.
I'll be violent, bitch. I'll fight you back.
Violent, right. But they have a right to go out there and protest. They do. They have every right. And I don't like them. I don't agree with what they have to say, but I will. That's, I bet
they don't like you a lot more than you don't like them, though.
No, they don't. Well, they like to shut me down.
Yeah, just like you.
But it's funny now too, because like so many of us are out there with masks on. We all look like Antifa. It's crazy. It's
That's
crazy.
funny.
Like I'm like, oh my! I was looking in the mirror the other day. I was wearing a bandana, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, me and you already look like Antifa to begin with already.
I
Like,
know. Well,
the way we dress. But yeah, so I think that what we all need to focus on is when it comes to these protests, if you guys are watching this right now and you guys are wondering about the protests, know that they're not about just thinking it's a hoax. They're not about the coronavirus. They're not as much about the coronavirus as much as they're about the control the government's trying to put on us, because Americans need to have freedom. And if you need to know why, read the damn Constitution. And I have a copy of the book if anybody wants to see it. But seriously, the Constitution is something we all should be reading, and that's something we should always follow. And although, again, freedom means that everybody can do what they essentially want to do with their health, I think that that's still freedom that I would fight for, even if some people are too dumb to know about it or too dumb to do what they need to do correctly, like wear a mask, you know? So I mean, it's unfortunate. We'll find out who loves their loved ones at the end of this. We'll find out who loved their loved ones, because they'll still be here.
Well, the mask thing too. It's like I tell people, you know, in the beginning of this, I was like, people would say things to me like, you know, you should wear, you know, snide remarks, right? Going to the grocery store, and I'm like, do you have one to give me? Do you have a mask? Because I don't have any masks. And I don't wear a mask. Huh?
Yeah, they were selling online for $20 a piece.
I know, but you know, a lot of those, if you look online and then you go to order them, they're from China, so you're not going to get it till June or July.
And
so,
on top of that, they're from China.
Right, exactly. So
if we're paranoid about each other, why won't you be paranoid about China?
Right. Hello. So I'm like, so, you know, then we have people making them, and like I have some, you know, cute ones, but they're, you know, it's a pain in
yes.
it's a pain in the ass.
I need a Trump one.
I love it. I'm getting a MAGA. I have, it's funny. I have a whole bunch of them coming to me now. I have people making them, and then, you know, I'm getting my MAGA one. It's a red one, Make America Great Again. I bought one. And
when
then
I was like a little raver kid anyway, so I kind of like the mask like look. Like I kind of like it. It's kind of cute.
I'm like, you know, as long as I can look cute. That's why I was like, I have to, like, I immediately contacted Denise, and I was like,
yeah, I was doing stuff.
Right. So
I think again, it should be something. It should be a choice. It shouldn't be forced on any of us. Nobody should be forced to do something or threatened with a fine or jail time. When they first came out with all this, they were suggesting things, and we all were listening. We really were. And so then to go through, and while we're listening, you're gonna go through and give us all this control and stuff. It's just too much. And like what I saw at the HB rally was first of all, we had a permit to have it, which means that's already government control. And so we have the rally, and at the very end, Valentina, she got on a big bullhorn and said, all right, you guys, the event is over. And I was like, she's protecting her own ass. That's good, you know, protecting her. The event's over now, so everybody go ahead and disperse. And then everybody got to do whatever they want, because at that point, you're just American. Go wherever you want. And then the police came immediately to the intersection and stuff, and was like really crazy with riot gear and stuff. And we were so peaceful. I was so shocked. I was like, okay, so let me get this straight. We're marching against government control with a permit while they have control over us. And then when they say the permit's over, now go back to government control. Like, what was the point of the protest? So what I did, I was sitting with these two black girls, and they were awesome. We all three sat down, and we were like, oh, the sun feels so good. We haven't been outside in forever. And then I had my flag. So the cops came over to us and said, you guys have to disperse. We said, no, the stay in order says you can't be in groups of 10 or more. There's only 3 of us. And I have my flag, of course, because I was at the protest. That's not happening anymore because it's over. So although I'm standing in the same spot at the protest, I'm still standing in a public area, just enjoying the sun. So I said, you can't tell us to leave. So he got like kind of irritated. And I was like, look, I respect you guys as police officers. It's really messed up that you guys have to be sheepdogs right now for our government, because I know that the police officers have no choice. They're just doing their job. Yeah. And it's making them kind of look like assholes and making them look bad, because I know they're good people. But well, I told him, I said, I'm just here, officer, enjoying my day. If you like, I could put my flag away. He said, okay. So I put it away for him. So I didn't look like I was still at the protest. That was already over. And so I said, I'm just enjoying the sun. So I sat there. We sat there for a good like 30 minutes. And a lot of people stay there. A lot of people just stay there all day. And I commend them for that. Not because of getting there, not because of like just like bending the rules or like being not complying with what cops are saying, but because of the fact that we are showing that we are American. We're not here to cause trouble. We're not here to cough on people. We're not here to even do anything but take a stand and show you that what you're doing is wrong. It's wrong. I'm sorry. Having that much control over us is purely just wrong. It's evil.
Well, it's interesting because today there was an article. I did read an article that because you saw the big protest up in Sacramento, right? That happened today.
Well, Marta, yes, there is footage of that. I'll send it to you.
So anyway, so there was an article that came out this afternoon from the Sacramento Bee, and basically the Sacramento Bee is asking the CHP, why did you issue a permit when we're all supposed to be sheltering in place? So now we have, so I'm kind of wondering how this is going to go now. I have a feeling, and I'm just going to say, I have a feeling that they're going to try to not issue permits right now, until Gavin decides to lift whatever he's going to lift.
Well, let me tell you guys the law out here, at least in Orange County. The law is that you can, if you are in a group with more than 300 people, that's when you need a permit. Just so you guys know. So use that to your advantage.
Well, there's going to be a lot to show up on May 1st up at the Capitol. I think there's going to be more than 300. Today there was definitely more than 300, and I'm hearing that it's going to be double or triple.
Well, they can't arrest us all because social distancing in the jails, right?
No, and a lot of people aren't even getting out of their cars. Some of the people stayed in their cars and they just drove around the Capitol and honked and waved their flags.
Did you hear about the churches? On Easter Sunday, there was 2 churches in Mississippi where cops literally put nails in front of the church entrances, and all they wanted to do was watch in church from their car. They were already social distancing. They were complying, doing whatever they needed to do, and the cops didn't just stand outside and give them tickets. They literally put nails at the entrances of the church, so the people who drove into the church also got vandalized by the police. That's insane.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Those are the things that we have to stand up to. These are the things that government is way overstepping their bounds. And these are the things that we have to stand up to. And that, it is. We're to a point right now where I think that if we just use common sense, like you said, it's safe for us to go to work. Not everybody, obviously, I don't think. Let's, let the people that are compromised, they can stay at home. We can help them out. But we need to get back to work. And clearly the amount of deaths from this, we did pretty well. And
like I said, more people died from the flu this season than coronavirus.
Right. So, I've never been afraid. It's funny because since this whole thing started, really in the beginning, I thought it was a joke. When I started going to the grocery store and seeing no toilet paper, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like the end of the world.
Get that. Does it give you the runs? Why toilet paper?
Seriously, like the end of the world's coming, and everyone, instead of, you think water and can't.
They just want to wipe their ass.
No, toilet paper.
We're gonna die with clean assholes, America. Woo!
Right? Get a bidet, okay?
Right?
Bidet. You can get them on Wish.
I wonder if those are selling like crazy right now.
They are. I know friends that have bought them, Chris, and have actually recommended them to me. I won't say who.
I want to be shocked if Gavin Newsom said that another order is we have to all get bidets.
Oh, but it uses water. So, what if we...
Oh, yeah, we're California. I forgot. We're not allowed to drink that. Yeah.
So how's that going to work? Because you know how it is here with water, right? We're only allowed to use how many gallons a day? It's
gallons or something like that.
It's ridiculous, which is...
shower and do laundry one day or else you're fined.
And it's impossible, especially right now with families at home. I'll tell you, my whole entire family is at home. We're at home all day. It's nuts. I have to get out when I'm done working because it's just nuts. But yeah, the water.
I home, so I was like, I used to stay home before. It was cool.
I was like, I want to go back to work. No. I like working from home. Once everything goes back to normal, it'll be nice. But yeah, my daughter's here. I was on a phone call with a customer the other day, and my daughter comes just pounding on the door, Mom, and the customer could totally hear it, and it's like, what do I do? Customers just like, are you working from home? I'm all, yeah, I am, sorry. And they laugh. Thank God they didn't care, but that's what it is now. It is what it is. I'm sure a lot of people are enjoying it. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people like to be out and about, and I get it. But
I saw a meme yesterday. I said I'm texting my friends and telling them that I'm on my way when I'm really still at home. I really miss texting my friends and saying I'm on my way, but really I'm still at home.
How are you doing? Are you're with your business and stuff? Are you still trucking along?
Well, okay, so it was going. It was really rough for me for a little bit. I'm there for a minute. I was kind of freaking out about things, but then honestly, the Patriots have all came to my side. This girl named Marta. Marta's amazing. Marta Allen, she's actually watching right now. She made me a GoFundMe, kindness of her own heart, without even telling me. And she made me, and people were donating and stuff. And then after that, next thing you know, all the barbershops and salons are shut down. So girls, I thought would be hitting me up more for hair, but they're not. Men, though, I didn't realize how many men need haircuts. And men are hitting me up every day. Can I go to you for a haircut? Can I go to you for a haircut? So since I have a home studio, I'm like, sure. So I sanitize everything, each client, put on face mask, and they come. And I've been busting out men's cuts like crazy. So it's actually going okay. It's going pretty well. I'm really happy. And they're all Patriots. And I've never felt so much love from a group of people in my life. Like there's been times where the Patriots have dug me out of a hole before, but oh my God, this is pure love, and it's pure like they're not doing it with expectations or anything. They're doing it just because they simply care. And I've never felt this kind of overwhelming like love and like support. Like I'm booming. Business is booming right now for hair. It just started a week ago, but every day I've had clients. It's been good. That's why I had
a feeling that you'd eventually pick up because people are like, especially a lot of my guy friends, they're like, I need a haircut. Like, you know, like, they really do. They go often to get their
county or LA area. I do haircuts.
Well, but you're like, we have to make a trip down there. Like, I'll have to bring everybody down there for a haircut, and I need my haircut. Smaller. And I need my nail lady canceled on me, man. Like that.
I got really into nails after beauty school, but then I ended up like not really liking them anymore. So I have, believe it or not, I have like everything from gel nails to acrylic. I have all the stuff to do it, and I have like thousands, like literally probably about 1,000 nail polishes. I literally have cases after case after case, and I just never use them anymore. I don't do anything with them. And my nail lady, I asked her if she wanted them, I'll donate them to her. She said yeah, but I just never took them over there. So I have like so much nail stuff. I'm just not that into it anymore. So I mean, I'm not good at doing it, but I thought I was gonna get good at doing it because I liked when mine were done. But now I just have nail shit.
Yeah, a whole bunch
I don't recommend calling me for nails, ladies. Don't call me for nails. But if you guys want to come do your own fucking nails, you can.
I've always wanted to learn how to do that. I've always wanted to, but I don't think what's always held me back is that I know when I'm learning, they're going to look like shit. And my nail lady teaches.
That's why I stopped, because the first time I did them, I was like,
yeah. I'm like, I don't want to walk around with shitty nails, right? Like I want my nail lady.
This is when they're shitty, they only last like a day or two, because then they start popping up. I'm like, oh.
I know. Luckily, mine looked good for a while, but like it's just like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, those are little things, and it, really, those are little things, and I'm okay with that. But it's just, it's annoying.
Ryan Ray, privately message me. I'll get your extensions in, girl.
Yeah. See, look at that. I knew that because the salons are all closed. Like you can't go to a salon around here.
I've been working from home since before it was a song and before it was famous. Like that was always been me. So now everyone talks shit about me. Like, he works from home. I'm like, yeah, I do. And what?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm very, very glad to hear that.
We've already been going out for a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go. But thank you so much, Lindsay, for coming on. You're always such a good person to talk to. You always have so much insights, and especially with your area and my area combined, we always kind of inform Californians pretty well. So the next event's the 1st, right?
Huh? May 1st?
It's going to be on the 1st?
May 1st.
Where at?
The big one that's going to be in Sacramento. That's what I'm hearing. I believe they have a permit for it. It's not mine, not my event, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I know the CHP, I don't believe, was very happy with the situation up there today.
Well, tell them to also use private messenger, because I'm noticing every event that has to do with the walkouts and stuff, or the events that are protesting against all of the stay-ins, all of those events are being taken down off Facebook right now. I saw a thing this morning from CNBC. They said they're taking them all down, and also they're going to be deleting any of the footages from the live videos and stuff. They haven't done that yet, but they have taken down the events, and they have so far blocked it from anybody promoting them. So
they did. They took down video because today I was reposting video that was going on in Sacramento, and one of my friends was like, "Lindsay, this isn't available," and it was a video. It was a live video. So Facebook has been taking down. But you're right. They have been. And
Rick, I switched from Zoom to StreamYard because Zoom is just like, they don't want to let you like really work with live ever. But if you want to go live, you can always if you go back to my Facebook page, you'll see the link to StreamYard, and if you click it, you could join the video. But we were actually about to close down.
Come talk to Christopher.
Yeah, come talk to me. I mean, I'll stay on for a few minutes, especially for you, Rick. I always will. Rick's my mother from another mother, if that makes no sense at all. Rick's like my mother. Like he's like mother. Like in the gay world, it's like, your mother, that's my mother. Like, he's always there to like hit me in the back of the head when I'm fucking up. That's Rick. But I love him to death. He's always been there to like to have my back, always.
That's awesome.
And so, Rick, if you want to join on, but otherwise, I'm going to be leaving this one. Or if you want to, we can start one on your channel or whatever. But thank you so much, Lindsay. I love you so much, and I'm going to let you go now, but bye.
Bye.
That's Lindsay. I love her to death. Lindsay's so cool. Honestly, Lindsay's been one of the first Patriots I ever met, and she's been there for me since the beginning. We've always like teamed up and done things together, and she had some good ideas about even maybe doing a Patriot drive through the whole state of California, and we'll talk more about that later when details get worked out, but so far it's a good idea. I think it would be cool to kind of have people, cruise through California. So yeah. Anyways, guys, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it, and like I said in every video, if Rick's not jumping on, I'll see you in the next one. I'm giving Rick a minute. See if Rick jumps on. Oh, Kathy, your phone died? No. Okay, I'll say another 5 minutes. That's a long time to sit. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. So if you guys want to go on another video, we can do that together. But I love you guys so much. And like I said in every video, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Rick, I love you. Text me.